Several allegations of corruption have emerged after the first part of the Zondo Commission's report on state capture was handed to President Cyril Ramaphosa. The report deals with, among other things, alleged irregularities and malfeasance at SAA and its subsidiaries. So, where to from now? Well, my colleague, that's reporter Heidi Giokos, following this story for us, joining us now this afternoon. Heidi, good afternoon. Well, part one of the report also touches on SAA and its subsidiaries. It's clear as day, according to the report, that under Ms. Dudumyeni, SAA, in fact, did deteriorate.
Yes, certainly. I think it's very clear that when it comes to SAA and its subsidiaries, we do understand that Dudumyeni was front and center in all of this. And why was she front and center? She was appointed acting chairperson of the SAA board from about 2012, 2013. And from the evidence that has been submitted to the Commission, it's very clear that those that worked closely with her found her to be a bully, found her to be intimidating, and the report goes on to say that there was deliberate corrupt intent to dismantle government procedures. It's very clear in the report, Bradan, that there were certain deals that were supposed to bring in billions for SAA, and it just seemed as though there was a concerted effort from Dudumyeni to not allow for these deals to proceed, and nobody still to this day understands why. For example, there was an Emirates and SAA code-sharing deal. It was announced at an air show in Dubai a couple of years ago, and at the very last minute, Dudumyeni walked in and said that the president then, which was Jacob Zuma, did not approve of this deal and it should be cancelled immediately. That has soured relationships with Emirates Airlines and SAA till this very day, and the State Capture Commission makes it very clear that as a chairperson of a board, she should have never been involved in operational issues, and they have described her as somebody who should have never been in that position. And despite constant red flags, despite being alerted by the Minister of Public Enterprises at the time, and as well as finance ministers, that she's not fit for that position, it seemed as though the President, which also is mentioned in the State Capture reports, was also unable to provide answers as to why she remained the chairperson of SAA board, despite the fact that there were so many issues and SAA was losing billions because deals just did not go through.
Yes, I understand Yake Gwinana, who's a board director, has also been implicated here, and with her not knowing what's happening and costing the airline millions of rand.
Yes, certainly, and I think the shocking part here is that the State Capture inquiry, while it was sitting, could even show the frustration towards Gwinana, because she was asked questions that ordinarily a chartered accountant would be able to account to and answer to, and it just seemed as though that was not the case. We do know that the State Capture inquiry has also recommended that the chartered accountant looks into her, because they feel as though she does not possess the kind of skills required of a chartered accountant, especially because of her testimony that was given at the State Capture inquiry. It's around a Swiss port deal that the Zondo Commission asked her time and time again, how did you sign a deal that you knew nothing about, that you yourself did not understand? Let's listen to Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo during that inquiry about his frustration and constantly alluding to the fact that she's a chartered accountant, yet she still doesn't understand what she's signing off.
So how could you approve a contract that you did not know? Because you have said you don't know that contract. I've just stopped you from going back to the 2012 contract now to remind you that Ms. Hofmeyer is talking about the March 2016 contract. Now, she has shown you a resolution. You agree that you approved. So how could you have approved a contract without knowing it?
Considering that it is stated like this, Chair, if you say, then I approved here, that is fine. Let us continue, Chair.
No, but the question remains, how could you have approved a contract you did not know?
Chair, I didn't think that this is a contract. I thought we were approving only the terms and conditions, not the whole contract. the whole contract would have the whole lot of
Ms.
things, including the price and everything.
Ms. Kwinana.
And then the terms of conditions.
Ms. Kwinana, you are a chartered accountant. You are a chartered accountant.
Wow, what an exchange there. Some of us have forgotten. There's so many such exchanges. You can feel and hear and see the frustration there from the acting Chief Justice during that hearing. Okay, Heidi, let's go back now to Ms. Dudumieni and how she revealed the identity of Mr. X. There was that small matter and the commission, of course, laying a criminal complaint against her.
Yes, I just want to go back to that exchange with Ms. Kwinana and Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo. I must just allude to the fact, Bradan, that that kind of tone and messaging is very clear in that state capture report, where Zondo does not hold back, and he makes it very clear that corruption and fraud were at play in state-owned entities, and how it seems as though state-owned entities were not there for the purpose they are intended for, to service the public and to service South Africans. Instead, they were there to benefit certain individuals, and this is where former President Jacob Zuma is front and center in this state capture report, and he's direct linked to the Gupta families. But I want to go back to Mr. X and what has been brought about in this testimony. It seems as though that the Commission has been able to trace back money. Mr. X, now everyone's wondering who Mr. X is. His identity has not been revealed because he feared victimization and he was worried about the safety of himself and his family. But he received money from Dudumieni's son's business. 2 million rand payment from VNA Consulting. VNA had been involved in a housing project in the Free State and had used some of the money it received on that project to pay Dudumieni's son's business. The money appears to have originated from the Free State government's coffers, being paid to VNA, then to Mr. Mieni's business, Premium Action, then to Mr. X's bank accounts, and then on instruction by Dudumieni into the bank accounts of the Jacob Zuma Foundation. So money had been shifted around, and Mr. X seemed to be in the center of all of this. Why are we bringing it up? Dudumieni, while she was testifying at the state capture inquiry, was told to be very careful about revealing the identity of Mr. X. She did so. She said it was a mistake, it was a slip of the tongue, and she was very close with Mr. X, and she did not do it for any kind of harm, but she was saying that she felt as though she was being brought into this when she didn't give any instruction. Before we listen to the kind of interaction that Dudumieni had at the state capture regarding Mr. X, I just want to speak about how the state capture says, the report says, Mr. X did a service to the country in being willing to give a frank and candid accounts. He did not deserve to have his identity revealed by Mieni. Zondo goes on to say a criminal complaint has been lodged with the police. At the time of the report, he is unaware of any arrest. Let's listen to that interaction with the State Capture Commission and Dudumieni.
Ms. Mieni, in relation to the second two payments, remember I indicated earlier there was a payment in October, and then there was a payment in December 2015, and then there was a final payment in February 2016. Mr. X said in relation to those second two payments, the one in December 2015 and the one in February 2016, that you instructed him to pay amounts into a bank account, the number of which you provided to him. Did you do so?
I'm not aware of that, Chairperson.
Ms. Mieni, I just want to be clear, because when you say you're not aware of it, I want to be certain as to what precisely you are denying in relation to Mr. X's evidence. So that's why I'm just seeking clarity. So did you instruct Mr. X to pay money into your account, well, into an account you gave him in December of 2015 and February of 2016?
Because of the time frames or the timelines that you're referring to, I won't be able to recall. Remember, Chairperson, with respect, I've worked with the incumbent, just in case I make a mistake, Mr. X.
Mr. X.
I've worked with the person, I've known the family.
Okay, that comment there, earlier days, of course, of the State Capture Commission of Inquiry around Mr. X, ending that report by Heidi Giokos.